Okay, first of all, I wanted to say thank you guys for tuning into this video. And second of all, I wanted to say how much I really enjoy the fascination, the mystery of the occult, the hidden aspects of nature, the hidden wisdom of the elements, the the otherworldly beings, the not the the not the Astari. That's Lord of the Rings. What am I thinking of? More or less, the Anunnaki, the archangels, the angels, the unicorns, the dragons, the fairies, the fae, the dryads, and all of them, the mythical creatures, the unknown, the hidden aspects. I semi like the occult a lot, and this leads me to want to make this video for you guys because one, I grew up in a family with the occult. So my name is actually Avery, and I usually go by the name of Alexander. That's just because, as a descendant of the Romani or the Gypsies, I was gifted the name Alexandros Shavani. So that would be the defender of man. If I recall, Alexander went into the defender of man, and then the Shavani, I kind of forgot what it meant, but I was gifted that name. And when I first began my journey into the occult, I was about 5 years old. And the reason why I started getting into it was not because of Harry Potter or watching Lord of the Rings or any of that. I was already be able to communicate with spirits, to be able to talk, hear, see, sense in my own way these otherworldly entities. And one of the first spirits to come forth and like tell me to show me the way was actually not a jinn, but more or less like a dryad, a tree ant, or a tree spirit. And over time, me and the tree spirits always got along, and that's what started it for me. Was my love for nature, the elements. I used to have a lot of school teachers who were into the occult, into the mysticism of witchcraft. And I found it even funnier when I first saw a tarot reader, and it got my interest peaked with that reading of cards to divine the future. I've I've grew up with that show Charmed, and of course witches, otherworldly powers, being able to make things move and all that kind of helped push me into delving deeper into my family heritage. And on my mother's side, I had the shamans, the Native American medicine men. So I delved deeper into the understanding of the different herbs, the the traditions. I delved deeper into understanding and really working with the elementals, the spirits of the earth. Whereas in my dad's side of the family, with the witches from the European sections, with the ancient Vikings, I got to understand the mysticisms of the ruins, the witch ruins, the Elder Futhark, and how to really rune cast, speak with runes, how to write and scribe in runes, how to cast spells, and I really, it was like a process of working with the self, really finding a way to help balance, relieve, and alleviate much of the inner self, coming into myself. It was almost like having to delve deep on a journey, and by the time I was 8, I was able to By the time I was 8, it brings up a funny story because back then I didn't have access to tarot cards, of course, but yet I could hear, speak, and talk to spirits and work with them. And my school had a tree. So I used to take kids there, and I used to sit underneath that tree with a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And not many people know this, but if you set Yu-Gi-Oh cards in just the right way, and if you pay attention to the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, you can get depictions, images, and I used to use that as like a tool, a divination tool. And one day, I predicted one of the other students was going to have something bad happen to them, and unfortunately, the card I pulled was one of the gunman cards with a handgun, a monster holding a gun, and I just felt like this kid was gonna have or get shot somehow, but he'll survive. But it wasn't making sense to me, and at the time the kids thought I was crazy because one, they didn't understand my gifts, neither did I at the time, and later the next day we found out that yes, earlier the day before a kid was shot who just so happened to be in my class. So I decided to delve a lot deeper into myself, and my I used one of my very first crystals, and this crystal, it's this one right here, was one of my very first ones gifted to me by my grandmother, from the reservation that we live on, and it was a very good positive stone. Like this contains like all the good memories that I had as a little kid, and I would always use this when drawing circles in sand, drawing positive energy to me, and even when I wanted to go deeper into myself, I would use this crystal. And today, I wanted to introduce myself. Let give you guys the details of me, who I am, what my path experiences dealt with. Cause one, I'm not I'm not pure, like I wasn't always happy. I did have my moments when I had that deep revelation of myself, and there was a dark time when I delved deeper into the dark aspects of magics. And it was in this darker aspect where I delved deeper into my emotions, hate, pain, suffering, and I delved deeper into that I was able to use it. Well, later on I learned that there is actually a better way to direct my energy rather than being or focusing on the dark side. I could focus again on the love and light, the pure white light aspect. So instead of being angry all the time and just projecting anger out, I would absorb it and push out radiant love, loving everyone else, showing love in front of hate, letting that love radiate from me, and letting that anger, that hatred, that pure disgust just wash out of me, be purified through me, and radiate just positive love and light to everyone else. So, my philosophy was there you can't truly get rid of the anguish, the pain, the suffering. Excuse me. You can't get rid of it. It's not possible. You just have to find that correct balance. Where there is darkness, you will meet it with the equal and opposite light. Where there is shadow, you will meet with light. Where there is positive, there is negative. Only when you get the equal and opposite will things be in balance. This is the same equivalence of the yin and yang, the Taoist philosophy. And to me, there is no dark or light. That's just a way that we could explain the universe. But nature isn't just pure positive and pure evil. It is both. There has to be a balance. And if you can't balance this, everything around you goes out of balance. Like, think of it like this: if you radiate love and you do nothing but love, and you don't show darker emotions from time to time, you will probably more likely get those negative reactions, negative emotions coming back at you. And this kind of correlates to how the universe works. You send out, but you get back what is needed, or in a more easily, what you send out has to come back, but there also has to be that balance. So if you send out positivity, you will gain positivity, but you must also get negativity. So that negativity will come in first before that positivity. This is that basic law of witchcraft, the threefold return. What you send out comes back to V times 3. So this is that one universal law of karma. And when you work with karma, you have to understand that you can do something about it right then and there, but that only ensures your own karma. So relaxation, not worrying about it, letting the anguish, the pain that people are sending towards you, show positivity, shine light, love, and just radiate it. And when you're faced with that malcontent, just stand your ground in love and show love to them, because if you don't show love to whoever's trying to harm you, who will? But I say this with an extent. If they come into contact with physical harm or trying to harm you in any sort of physical violent way, there is a time and place for everything. And if that happens, you have the right to defend yourself. So practice passivity, but only fight when it is truly necessary. There is always a time and place for everything. So don't look for the fight, but if the fight comes to you, you must be able to defend, deflect. And in this, I wanted to teach you guys a crystal method to finding your inner heart, or to use crystal to just radiate yourself in light. So, the way I used to do it was I would take my crystal, place it over my heart, and say a simple prayer. May I be filled with love and light energy from high above. May I radiate positivity throughout the universe. And may my light radiate unto others, and just raise the vibrations for everyone's highest good. And then it would be right here where I would envision myself in a cloak of white energy that protects me. And then I would see that white energy growing brighter, but as that grew brighter, I would see it pushing away all the negative energy. I normally visualize that negative energy as black, as black energy. There's a difference between darkness, negative, and all that. There's a different shade of black for each one, but mine's is just pure black, or just like black cloth, like how you get with black shirts, kind of like that type. Mine's would be kind of like this type of black, not pure black, but just felt type black. and I would just see the white light growing brighter, extending outwards, and pushing that negativity away. And that is how I do it. And I really much enjoy talking because when I talk, I kind of like to teach miniature lessons throughout my videos, or that's what I want to do. I want to give you guys lessons, life lessons that are my own experience. And there is nothing wrong with finding balance, working dark and light, working with the shadows when absolutely, positively certainty when absolutely necessary to use it. Only in defense is darkness or dark energy ever truly needed. Other than that, you should not use it to harm or anything along with hurting others. Magic, words, thought should not be used for negativity. If you are having negative thoughts, try to remember that when you radiate positivity, there's always someone around who cares. And even with suicidal thoughts, all you have to do is find someone, something to love, and just know that you yourself are loved by the higher power. Me, when I was younger, and I was bullied and I was tormented for from second all the way up to ninth grade. I was tormented, and I was bullied on and off, and I was driven to that point. So instead of returning to that negative mindset that I was in before, I decided to work with light, the elves, the fairies, the dragons, and I started working more with them. And it was because of my delving deep into the spirituality of myself that I was able to find that inner peace, that inner love, that unconditional love for myself and others. And it was because of this that I could truly manifest my own heart, my own belief, and I could understand where other people are coming from. And I really do hope that you guys really would enjoy this video because I myself have lots to give. And I wanted to leave you guys with ending this video with a fairy dust card. And maybe later on I'll do a quick video with all my oracle tarot decks and all that. And just really help you guys delve deeper into the understanding of such things. So for today's card, fairy dust card, that this just radiates positivity with these fairy dust cards because they're not truly like oracle cards. They're more like inspirational cards. They're there to help lift your spirits when you're sad. So today's fairy dust would be fairy wings. And it says here, in the forest, small lights glow, for those are fairies flying low. So, with fairy wings, the little lights and all that, you just have to remember that those too are fairies and all this. And I'll explain the types of fairies that I've worked with in the next video, or in another video into itself. But the next card would be Sunrise. For every sunset sings a song. Don't worry, be happy, just sing along. So the fairies are trying to remind you that with every sunrise and sunset, there's always a spark, a particular song that goes on. So don't worry, be happy. Just sing along with them and just radiate that positivity every day. Just for today, I will not worry. Just for today, I will not anger. Just for today, I will give thanks for my many blessings. Just for today, I will be kind to my neighbor and every living thing. Um, that's just what these cards remind me of. And I very much hope you guys liked my video. So please, to help me help you, help us, help the world, with many blessings, love and light.